Granters, Pink City, our commentary team, Hamish Mackay, Grant Fox and Alan Wick.
Thanks very much, Sean. Yes, Le Stade in Toulouse. A little bit of cloud about, very comfortable 16 degrees, not much in the way of humidity. A little bit of breeze around, but really perfect rugby conditions as we stand by for the toss here. Of course, Jerry Collins skippering the All Blacks today, and Soren Sokol. Romania win the toss. All Blacks going to play a left-to-right kickoff with Romania. Joel Jute is the referee for this one, along with Mr. Quester and Mr. Chang Lang running the touchlines. Paul Marks of Australia is the video referee. Pool C, 37,000 packed into this lovely stadium as the All Blacks make their way out onto the track. Big Greg Somerville competing for that place in the 22. Welcome back, Keith Robinson. First match of the tour. Namir Tialada, Siraveni Sivavatu. Big one expected from Sione Loaki as he tries to keep the momentum and step his game up and push into the 22. Doug Howlett coming into the team late with the injury to Dan Carter. Big Jerry Collins with that now very distinct and known worldwide hairstyle as the Romanians winners over Portugal by 14 points to 10. Their second Rugby World Cup victory ever. Their first was against Zimbabwe way back in 1987. So far in the tournament, they went down to Italy 24-18 to 42-0 losers to Scotland. They've been at all 5 World Cups, proud contributors, but never beyond pool play, and that won't change in 2007. Listen to this. Well, Grant Fox, the All Blacks expected to win and win comfortably here, but another great rugby occasion.
Yeah, it is. It's a full house here at Le Stade Toulouse. Great atmosphere. Big game for Romania. Great honour for them. You heard the manager talk beforehand. The All Blacks will be looking for a much better quality performance, much more accuracy than we saw against Scotland.
AJ Wetton, purely and simply, selection places up for grabs. 80 minutes to make your way into the All Black top 22.
Certainly, and obviously I think they play more as a team performance than looking at some combination, especially in the loose forwards. They promote Luaki, big game for him. I think he can do some terrific damage out wide if given the opportunity.
Great crowd in.
Standing for the national anthems of New Zealand and
time for the
Romania,
national anthems.
recorded by the Republican Guard and the French Army Choir.
Yeah.
proud and strong young man of Romania. Just one test between the All Blacks and Romania. Bucharest 1981. On that occasion, 14 points to 6 in favour of the All Blacks. Tialara, Maialamu and Somerville. Thorne and Big Keith Robinson welcome back at lock. Jerry Collins captains the side from 6. Luke McAllister taking over at 10 with the injury to Dan Carter. From this crowd at Neustadt in Toulouse during that half-an-hour Grant Fox. They were well almost captained by the lock forward Soren Soko. His second cap for him. The face of Joe Rokotoko as we get ready for kickoff. Referee Joe Jout of France. Dan Carter, Nils Muliaina there. Both on the injured list at the moment. Fingers crossed they will come right quickly as we get underway in Toulouse. And it is Chris Marsoy with the first fumble, but back into the hands of Greg Somerville. Ellis back to McAllister. Decided to get cheeky with it early. And straight away to Rokotoko. Back to where it all started. The first ruck, and here's McAllister again, looking to run and open things up. Luke McAllister has support from Ellis. Ellis, wide pass out here to Sivivatu. Sivivatu, great start by the All Blacks.
Well, it was started by Luke McAllister when perhaps the first time he chose the wrong option, he was looking to kick, but here it's from the second ruck, which Joe Rokotoko had hit the middle with. McAllister, great footwork, good support by Ellis, great overhead pass. Once it got to Sivivatu, well, he had too much pace. So 1 minute and 6 seconds and Sivivatu dots down. Yeah,
good play there by Luke McAllister. I think the intention very clear by the All Blacks. From the word go, they are going to pass this ball around. From the kickoff there, a bit sloppy start, but they reformed. Good pass out to the left, and McAllister at first 5'8", probably relishing the opportunity to show his wares.
Well, and also the coolness of the pass from Andrew Ellis. They were the sort of passes that weren't sticking against Scotland. Granted, to be fair, different calibre of opposition. So we'll watch this kick with interest because there's been plenty of discussion about the balls being used here at the Rugby World Cup. Comes McAllister, and it's off the upright. Struck it well enough, but just drifted into the left-hand upright. But a cracking old start. The try to Sivivatu 5-0.
Well, I did wonder, as we just watched McAllister, just a little bit much draw on it. Quite hard at an upright. He's done that from the beginning. I did wonder about the All Black tactics, whether they'd go close or wide early. Well, they've shown their intention.
Another restart down into the hands of Big Keith Robinson. Ellis. And a knock on at the back by the number 8, Tunita. Play on. Back to Serbu. 55 Test veteran, the halfback. Manta. The open side flank. Plays for the Breed club here in France. In fact, all the pack play their club rugby in France. The Romanians. Soko. Turnover. knocked forward. Back he comes. Razor Yanu on the left wing. Trying to split them up the middle. Kontaniak. Turn over to Chrissy Marsoy. Back for Alice. Major. Turnover. Romania with some early possession. Serbu. Kontaniak. It's a testing kick for Evans. Kontaniak gets through and drives him in the tackle. Lively start from the Romanians as they look to settle down after the very early try. Robinson back for Sivivatu. Major. Rush defence. Leaves some big gaping holes for the All Blacks to run into. Here's Jerry Collins. Sivivatu. Lost forward in the tackle of Razor Yanu. Advantage with Romania. Serbu charged down by Robinson. Will come back for the original knock-on.
Just those little errors creeping in again. A bit anxious to let the ball go in the tackle. Mind you, the Romanians, they're big physical lads and they're making sure their tackles count.
Yeah, they are. They're big, not particularly tall ground, but very solid. The pack weighs well over 100 kilos average, and they'll make those tackles count. All Blacks chancing their arm, but every opportunity. See, the Romanians not quite as heavy as the New Zealanders, but they are more experienced in test matches.
Obviously not the same quality of test match, AJ, correct, but the Romanians have 540 caps on the field against the All Blacks 417. But obviously many of them will be against sort of tier 2 nations. So Romania have pushed the ball wide a bit early, which is a good attitude to see. So perhaps we'll see them continue that sort of vein from this scrum.
Tanita under pressure from Alice. Marsoy coming through on Serbu. Big 94 kilogram, quite a solid lad for a halfback. Kontaniak just bounces it into touch in front of Joe Rokotoko.
I just saw Joe come forward there, and there must be a bit of breeze with the ball holding up because he seemed to misjudge that. And I did watch the kickoff from Dumitras, and it did seem to hold up a little bit, the two kickoffs he's had, so just perhaps a little breeze favouring the All Blacks at the moment.
Kevin Maalamu, featured in our Telecom player profile pre-match. Straight to Keith Robinson off the top. Ellis, flat to Collins. Now let's see if Loaki can get some momentum up. Romanians pouring over the top there. Back for Amir Tialata.
Romania's just infringing at the breakdown. You see they want to compete. They want to be very physical. But again, I just didn't like the idea of Tialata popping that ball out, just assuming someone would be behind him. They need to be more patient, the All Blacks, in the contact area. Graham Henry has talked about that and is demanding it of his team.
Well, they need to go forward ball ground. I mean, I think we saw there with the pass going out to Jerry Collins and then to Loaki on his shoulder. Not enough pace, not enough purpose from the big man. He's got to hit it. He's a huge man at 119, 20 kilos. Could do all sorts of damage. And as you said, Tialata just popping it up. They